I finished the little outro character for the Wacom video and I'm rendering that video now. I'm happy with how it's turned out, but plans have to shift a bit because today I was going to actually record a virtual reality video, which I mentioned yesterday. But what I didn't mention is it's actually going to be a sponsored video for Ubisoft for the For Honor game, which I'm really excited about because I'm going to create like a battle between two of the characters. I haven't decided which ones yet, like the knight and the samurai or something like that. And I want to make it like this epic narrative style theme driven video where I'd start off in traditional, planned it out and then execute a really cool image. But it's midday and there's not enough time. So I'm having to deal with a bit of restructuring in the sense that I have some extra content I didn't plan on, and then also I haven't finished enough of the content that I did plan on finishing, so it means revisiting the old calendar and fiddling things about. But what I suspect is going to happen is today is going to be an editing day, and I'm going to plan and prepare all of the Ubisoft video stuff, and maybe even do the traditional stuff like draw on paper and film all that, so that on Monday, first thing in the morning, I'm ready to start making the virtual reality video. So yeah, that's the plan. Upload and release the Wacom video today, plan and film the first part of the Ubisoft video, and then spend the rest of my day editing other videos to try and get ahead a bit. As you can see, the outro is me in some sort of an office space wearing a Wacom t-shirt. I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun. I'm really enjoying that every single outro. I said this in yesterday's vlog, but I'm really enjoying that the whole aesthetic of the whole outro is changed with every single video. I'm probably going to say that every time I make a new end card because I really enjoy how fresh it feels every time. There you go, I released the video I did with the Intuos Pro Paper Edition. I used, I'll be honest, a little bit of a clickbaity title with this whole gimmick or godsend thing, but I used that for a reason. I think specifically with the whole paper hook of the device. I feel like a lot of people's first impression or question, as was mine, is it for real and is it cool, or is that just sort of, you know, to sell a device, whether it actually is useful or not. Spoiler alert, it's pretty cool. But the video is up for you to go see, so go check it out on the main channel. I've been working on editing and stuff. I've finished the virtual reality video, which will go out on Monday. So in the VR video, I play a whole bunch of different art programs for sculpting and modeling and spraying and stuff like that. So it was lots of fun, but I did begin the video with a bit of a disclaimer. I start off by showing the Adobe Photoshop interface and then directly comparing it to Adobe Photoshop 1.0's interface. And then I show the Animate CC interface compared to Future Splash Animator. Basically sort of showing that the programs that I go into in this video are the very first of a very new medium. And I just wanted to kind of carry that point across because I think people's expectations of what virtual reality is actually where it's going to be in 3 to 5 years, which is exciting. And I feel like it's going to grow even faster at that point than we expect. But I do think we need to keep our expectations in check because these programs that I play with are a bit buggy and, you know, can be hard to navigate at times. I gotta say though, it's pretty exciting to be doing this. Like, I'm signed up to a bunch of different betas that I'll get to play with soon as well for different art programs that are still in development and haven't even been early access released yet. And I'm trying to get on some dev groups and be a part of the development teams for some of the bigger ones. So like, it's so cool because when it does flow well and is creative, the potential is so clear and it's so amazing. What sort of stuff do you guys want to see in virtual reality? Like what sort of programs and what sort of power and facilitation in creativity do you want to see in the future? Because I've talked a lot about my vision and my excitement, you know, and everyone, I suppose, has a different thing that excites them. I try and play VR games and they hold my interest for like 10 minutes, literally. But creative programs, I can just be in all day when they flow right, you know? So I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Question of the day comes from Time Turtle, who has asked this question a number of times, and I have noticed, so thank you for your consistency, who asks, how often do you change out hardware, like computer or tablet? I don't often. I think maybe every 4 years a change happens to my computer. Sometimes I upgrade the video card and RAM, and then sometimes I just overhaul the whole thing. But I think about 4 years is the lifespan of my average computer. That'll do for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's the weekend! I'm gonna go have some Mexican tonight, have some, what are they called? The ice drinky things. Not pina colada. I'm actually gonna Google. Icy Mexican alcoholic drink. Margarita! It's a margarita. I'm gonna have margaritas. I should have known that. I knew it was a mer something. Oh God, I need a margarita. Also, I never knew I'd do a Google search that included the words Icy Mexican.
So, this is our window repair.
It's not repaired yet.
It's got duct tape, that's good enough, isn't it? Underneath this duct tape are hundreds of thousands of little bugs, because we have just found out that the reason that the windowsill looked a bit manky is not because of the water, as we thought, and that we need to have a bit of wood replaced.
It was the termites!
It's the termites. It's the termites.
We're in kind of a bit of a state lately. I don't know if you've sensed a slight tone of stress in the vlogs, because I'll be honest, there has been a tone of stress in the Jazza household.
I've been refusing to
a bit
participate because I've been that stressed.
Things are starting to fall apart, and we actually had a bit of an ordeal that happened a couple of days ago. Well, it wasn't an ordeal, but it could have been. MJ
you're going to go into this,
sort of ran out the front door.
Welcome parenting comments, here we come, roll on in. Oh
this
is
not an invitation to being critical of our parenting, and also note many other parents have such scares, and that doesn't mean that we're ignorant parents. But MJ slipped past our vision and not onto the road, but onto the outside path, and sort of ran down the street. And then we were like, by himself. Where's MJ? Now that he can explore, he's trying to explore everywhere. So that sort of freaked us out, and we're sort of, you know.
So the first thought was, we need to fix our gates. Let's fix our gates so that we can close them properly and easily, because at the moment we have to hike one up to close them. Fix our gates. So then we started to put aside money for that, but unfortunately, I noticed a rotten bit of wood at the bottom of the window, and I thought with windows that you might just have to replace that small bit of wood that looks rotten, because not a lot of it looked rotten. So I, in a quite relaxed way, started calling around glaziers and window people to see if they could replace the small bit of wood. And they all told me that the bit of wood at the bottom of the window is not replaceable, because it is the windowsill that the whole window rests on, and it's one piece of timber, and you have to replace the entire
large
massive
6-panel
window. Then came the third shock. I pulled off a bit of I don't know what it's called, it's like a dowling that sits on the outside of the window. It's not actually part of the window structure. I pulled off a bit of the edging, so I'm not great at technical building terms, and hundreds of little bugs, and that will cost between $2,000 and $3,000 to treat.
The bummer is being upfront with you guys. Fortunately, because of our planning, even though ad revenue dropped with the sale, we actually got to get ahead a bit, including some of the sponsors we worked with last year. Most of that getting aheadness isn't that, like, and that's a real bummer, because it's like, you know,
we're trying to save up, and we're trying to save up to convert the studio in the back garden, and for Jazza to do some mixed reality and VR filming for video.
Green screen and all that stuff, really cool content stuff.
And you can't ignore termites.
No.
And
you can. You just sort of can't ignore when the house falls down around.
And you can't ignore when you've got a window hanging half out of its frame because of the termites. And you can't ignore that your child is running off down the street. Although that one, I think we're just going to have to do a bodgy best repair on the gate we can, and
or we get a leash. No?
Tie him up for part of the day.
Yes.
Or a large cage.
A gag might do well too.
Oh.
How do you gag and tie your children? We love MJ, we're just joking. Don't we, Bumba? Do we love you?
Okay, do you know what? That whole thing sounded slightly hysterical and strained on your part.
Did it?
Yes, I'm not even joking. Yeah, actually it sounded. This is probably, and I reckon I sound slightly hysterical and strange talking at it. So we're heading out now for dinner. We're going to try
Margaritas.
Try and forget about the fact that bugs are eating our house down, and we'll find the money, and we will vlog the pest inspector visiting us tomorrow. To be continued.